Welcome back to Big Stevie Cool 1872, and it is very cold. It's very cold, I tell you what. It's cold in reality, and it's cold when I look at that league table. Alright, folks, so this is your Dundee Rangers match preview. And let's dive straight into it. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's talk about injuries, because there is a lot of injuries. Clement today confirming who is it. You've got, who have you? Balogun, Suter, Butland, Tav. I think he said Sterling is probably going to be it for the Mora. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully he's not, but yeah, I think it's going to go down that road. I think he also said Tom Lawrence, but for the most part, I feel like if it's not, it's pretty much, apart from Lawrence, it's pretty much everybody who's like at the back. And that's the weakest area of the pitch right now. Like, it's just fallen to absolute shreds, so they're all missing. But we'll get to a starting 11 in a little bit. But Big Philly was also asked a question about the away form, and he said, well, you know what, it's true. And well, yeah, Phil, it is true, the away form is pish, but at the same time, like, how is he ever going to spin the away form narrative? Like, how is he ever going to turn around and say, well guys, you know what, actually I think the away form's alright. I mean, I believe it's something like 17 out of 45, which is just unacceptable, man. I mean, I shouldn't need to explain how unacceptable that is. In the last, 15 away games, we've picked up 17 points. I'm going to assume that means 4 wins and 5 draws. And then an absolute bucket ton of defeats in there. It's pathetic. It's just no good enough, man. And, yeah, well, I mean, what else is there really to say about that? That just, it is bogging. Now, in terms of a starting 11 for this team for Rangers, I think it's going to be Liam Kelly. It's going to be Yefty. It's going to be Yilmaz. I mean, honestly, at the back, I've no idea what's going to go on. I mean, we're expecting Proper to start. I mean, he could pick up an injury. I think Proper's the nailed-on one, unless he's deciding to pack some more IKEA stuff this midweek. Wee bit nippy though to head the IKEA, I'll tell you that much. But obviously you've got Nunsala, you've got King, and if Sterling is available, then he could feature. But then at the same time, if Sterling could feature, would you not rather him maybe right back, just to add a bit more physicality? I mean, Yilmaz suited the Celtic game, and you know what, right? We beat Celtic 3-0. It made my new year, at least the first 2 days. But see this narrative for people that are like, we know how to deal with Celtic, and it's the other teams in the. We know how to deal with Celtic. Need I remind people Philip Clement's record before that match? I mean, we beat Celtic, played them off the park, absolutely destroyed them. 3-0, right? No complaints, honestly. Wish it was more, that's the only complaint. But to turn around and say that we can now deal with Celtic, yeah, do I agree that Celtic's style has its benefits against us because it's a more open game? Yeah, especially when our defence was that bad, because Celtic didn't go up against us physically. But to turn around and say that it's easier for us to go up against Celtic than other teams in the league, man, it's utter bullshit is what it is. What you got to factor in is the fact that it was also at home. We're fine at Ibrox, we've won every game apart from the Dundee United game this year, domestically. So there's no complaints from that point of view, so I'm just sick of that thing being used, like suddenly like we're great. Big Phil gets 1 win out of 7, man, and he's the Holy Grail. Reel it in, Big Phil. What else is next to talk about? The midfield. Well, Raskin is obviously out, not injury, suspension. It's just weird with the yellow card rule, the fact that it takes like a week to come into effect. So obviously suspended last week, yellow card against Celtic at half time. You can have your opinions on that. Should Cal McGregor have seen a second? Probably, folks. Probably. Right. Anyway, midfield. It's probably going to have to be Diamande and Connor Barron, isn't it? But again, I think that midfield began to piss a lot of people off recently, especially the Connor Barron side. Still a young kid at the end of the day, but I don't know. Maybe but there's no really any other options in there. I mean, honestly, we need a bit of physicality. Leon King is actually naturally a CDM, defensive midfielder. Why not fire him in? Honestly, just to beef us up a bit. Because Connor Barron's lacking a bit of beef, you know what I mean? And then I think the front four picks itself. It's obviously going to be Tierney, Barami, Hadji, and IGAMANE up front. it has to be IGAMANE up front. Now, if you want to start IGAMANE and Danilo both up front, by all means go for it, Phil. But no matter what, IGAMANE has to start this game of football. Hat-trick, I mean, played out his skin against Hibs, honestly. If he scored that goal in the last kick of the game, or the last kick of the 90, we'd be talking about, like, one of the... But, like, it's just sad. Like, even if we did score, like, and say we won, it's not going to mean anything this season, really, like, in terms of the league table. But see if that was a game, you know, to get you over the line in a cup final, or get you over the line in the league, and he's just scored 4 goals like that. Fucking hit that. I mean, honestly, that performance would get talked about right up there with any performance for me, especially in recent times. So it's just unfortunate. He'll still a fantastic performance, so he's got to start. But we'll head over to the channel before I give any more of my score predictions, and we'll see what you guys said. There wasn't really many comments to read from. It was just people bickering back and forth, and to be honest, I could read them, but I can't be arsed. But yeah, we had 606 votes on the channel, 31% voting for Dundee, so I mean just under a third, 28% voting for a draw. So if you add them both together, I mean you're looking at like what, 59% of the vote draw. And yeah, I mean I'm not blind. I know obviously on this channel there's now a lot of Celtic fans loving our team getting beat, so they're just going to vote for Dundee or a draw or whatever. But here, I am fair. Our away form's shocking, and a Dundee win or a draw is completely not out of the question. So Rangers narrowly ahead with 41%. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but if he just picks a more physical team at the back, it should give us more of a chance. But you know, Tony Docherty, his team talk, his tactics pick themselves, folks. Make it physical, and they will probably pick up at least a point. You know, if they stop us from playing like we did in the first 25 against Hibs, it could turn into like the first half against Motherwell, the game against St Mirren, and we could very easily lose or drop points. So in terms of my score prediction, man, I backed us to beat Hibs. I'm going to go for 2 each, honestly. I away from home, I have zero faith in this group of players, man. As a collective, yeah, there's individuals in there that can make things happen, but it's scary to think how bad we are at the back. It's scary, man. So I'm going to go 2 each. I'm going to go with IGAMANE and Yanis Hadji with the goals. But here, I'm praying for a victory for Rangers. It probably won't happen. It's sad that I'm saying that, but I mean, prove me wrong. You know what I mean? Like, the away form is that bad. So yeah, hopefully we can get over the line, guys. But we'll have to wait and see how that will go.